Hey everyone, Genome here, coming at you with the next episode in my free-to-play beginners kind of guide series. Sorry about the long break. I was out of town a lot, and I'm still fighting some technical issues. I have no idea what's going on with OBS, but every time I try to get on there, it's super distorting my voice. It's just not working right. I don't know what the deal is. I've reloaded it, uploaded like any updates that were supposed to be there. I have no idea what's going on. So for the time being, I gotta use this ugliness, and of course you see the green screen behind me. It's not gonna work in this format, but I just wanted to get a video out there to kind of progress what's going on and hopefully give some more sage advice for the new players. So some exciting developments. Hold on, sorry man, my throat's really scratchy today. Of course I'm at commander level 52 for whatever that means anymore. So I've been making progress, doing my daily stuff, you know, just doing everything I'm supposed to do. I joined an alliance that raids regularly. I'm still working on it. I don't want to join anything too high end right now because I can't contribute that much. My highest team power is like 38,000, right? So it is what it is. I'm making progress there. 52, it means the new challenges have opened up, so I've been working on getting those maxed and doing my daily arenas, you know, all the stuff you're supposed to do as a new player. Make sure to participate in war, and at these levels you're just fighting basically shield teams, right? You know, just the base teams. So take your teams in there and knock those out if you can. I'm actually looking for, you know, something a little bit more difficult, maybe for some low teams, but it's all just shield guys. So what do we got here? 6 hours left. So I'll come back in here and finish this up if no tougher teams will present themselves. But, you know, it's just doing what you got to do when you're part of a alliance, right? And war was not around when I first started this game, so things have changed a lot. Let's see where I'm at participation. So I'm still only got 2 attacks in, but I only have like 4 attacking teams. So, but I think I was actually MVP. I might not have been MVP. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. In war and more, the fact is you participate, right? So, and I'm also sorry that if you see me looking that direction a lot here. My webcam's on my one monitor. I got 3 of them going, but I can't get it to record off the main monitor over here. So I have to go to the middle monitor. So all those things notwithstanding, let's talk about what has been going on, what's changed since last checked in, and I further want to expound on some early game strategies. So yeah, get your player level up there as fast as you can. Open up campaigns as far as you can. Right now they got stature event going on. I can only get to about medium, the 3rd node. It's just because I'm only limited to like 3 different characters like Drax, Mantis, and I forget who my 5th is. Actually a good character. Might be Taskmaster, but not Taskmaster, but Zemo. But I can't remember. But whatever the case may be, can only get so far on that. But get your other stuff going. Like, don't just stop at heroes. I'm basically pretty close to being strong enough to get past heroes 6-9. Don't stop there. Don't just stop at villains. Go over to Nexus and get going. I'm already working on Nexus 4, the 4th row here, so a lot of good stuff in Nexus, especially later on. So make sure you get in there. Cosmic, I can't really start yet. I don't have anything Cosmic unlocked too much. Let's see what I got. That's really strong. Like, yeah, not much here. But this also leads me back to some exciting developments. So since I last spoke with you guys, I've had 2 Mega Orb openings. Remember, this is all free to play, so just as the fragments come in. And one of them gave me Baron Zemo. Gave me 100 shards of Baron Zemo. Zemo, however you want to say it. It's hard to tell from the comic books. But, so amazing. I don't have this character on my main account, which is also free to play. But still, I only have like 89 shards over there. So I have Baron Zemo almost from the get-go. So I'm going to build him like crazy because he is a super good minion killer, right? And a lot of the enemy teams, like the NPC teams, are made up of a lot of minion characters. So what an amazing pull. This is one of the best pulls I could have gotten, I think, out of a Mega Orb. And I got 100 shards of it, no less. So I'm going to beef him up as much as I possibly can. Keep gearing him as need be. I'm going to save that for tomorrow, though. But yeah, so really cool development there. And the second one is something I did this morning. I opened up another Mega Orb, and I got 50 Hela shards. So having Hela and Zemo early on is going to be a huge boon get these guys just like everyone else can be ignored as far as gear goes. I'm gonna drop it all on Punisher, Zemo, and Hela, because they will wreck NPCs. One more. I mean, they will just slaughter them. Between Punisher and Zemo, my gosh, it's pretty crazy the damage they can put out against minion characters, right? So those are two great things. So like I said, hopefully you get lucky on your Mega Orb pulls, but for the early game player, Mega Orbs are simply incredible. Can't be beat. And I just got so lucky on getting two really good characters. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to work on Hela for a long time. I'm not going to be able to open her node for quite some time. So farming Asgardians is still pretty much out, even though I think Black Bolt's probably the most important legendary in the game right now. But, you know, it is what it is. I got her early, so she helped me clear some nodes, especially in, like, the Cosmic and things like that. So, really good stuff. So, anyway, that was the newest development. But let's go on to the plan of attack. So, it seems like the node swap outs for like the Sinister-6 are going to be here for a long while. So I kind of changed up a little bit. I'm still farming for Star-Lord, of course, but I'm going a lot more hard now on Sinister-6, so I can go ahead and get Shuri and Invisible Woman. They'll both be exceptionally good pickups for the early to mid game that I'm going for here. And so here's what's going on with it. Every Blitz Shard goes into Rhino, and every Arena Shard goes into Vulture until I get them to elite 5 stars. I'll probably just stop at 5 stars for the time being. And usually what I wind up doing is, of course, I max all their nodes, and then I usually refresh at least 2 of them every day to work on the rest of the Sinister Six. Excuse me one more time. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on in my throat today. So that plan is going very nicely. So I switched gears a little bit. I know I was really espousing on the importance of Star-Lord, and he is important in the Guardians. But honestly, the Guardians are just okay in basically anything past the mid-game. So I really wouldn't mind having more of a hodgepodge team with Shuri, Invisible Woman, and then whoever else I can throw together, like Zemo and Hela. Those will take you fairly far. So I'm pretty excited about that. And but that's what we're doing right now. So right now, going hard on Sinister-6, and they're decent in like early arena, which I do. My arenas every day too, like you should as well. And you know they're decent on some nodes. Like they don't have any sustain, like I said before, but they'll get you through a lot of stuff. Let's just say that. So let's go back here and see what else I've been doing lately. I'm at the point now where Crossbones. Remember how I was telling you that he's a super strong early game damage dealer, especially on the villain side of things. Well, now that you got Sinister-6 basically full, his team, Crossbones is starting to drop off now. And his ultimate, while still does a lot of damage, is starting to get to the point where it's not like clearing whole boards. So I'm going to start easing off of Crossbones. Now, what I've been talking about for the early game build-ups and all that has been to get to a certain point and back off a little bit, and when they start losing their usefulness, right? At this point, I'll probably start dumping more into Merc Riot Guard just for like challenge content and things like that. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna leave Crossbones around this. I might get him up to 50 or so, just for some other villain stuff. But really, for the most part, I think I'm just gonna stick mostly with the Sinister-6 at this point and gearing them, and of course my 3 other mains. This also leads me to another point I wanted to make. Is you got to be really careful about spreading your resources around too much, because there's a huge amount of characters in this game, obviously, right? And if you try to gear everybody, you're not going to gear anybody. So really figure out who you're going to go for and kind of stick to them. I have some other interesting openings for characters, and I have a couple of the Avengers squad. Now, I've really liked this Avengers rework they've done. It's been pretty bonkers having Thor paired with Captain America and Hulk. I don't really have Hulk built up, but when they taunt and these enemies just keep attacking it, Thor's like passive is going off like crazy. He's become quite the powerhouse, actually. I'm pretty impressed with their early game use. So if we just had like a better healer, or healer I swap in, I guess I could build up Shield Medic, but really I don't want to do that. I'd rather probably build up Mantis. To add to that team, they'd be ready to go. So that's another pleasant surprise. So if you can get like your 4th Avenger, let's see who we have to choose from here. I mean, Hawkeye's nice to build up, but once again, I really maybe at super high levels he's good with Black Widow, but I don't know. I really wouldn't worry about it too much right now. But if you just get your 4th Avenger, and you can really work on this team as well. But keep in mind, once again, that Thor was kind of a, I think it's a daily reward thing, and same with Captain America. So those are normally really high shard unlocks. So probably not something I recommend going for early, because they don't really have any particular use in this game other than being a solid team, right? With Sinister Sticks, you're unlocking 2 legendaries with them, you know. With AIM, you have an easier time with a lot of different game modes, and they help you a lot once you start the, I think it's villains, the 7-row campaigns. The first 3 nodes of those, I think, are AIM and Hydra and some other stuff. So you want to go with, and Sinister Six. So you want to go with AIM on those, because they kind of can almost auto it after like 200k team power, right? So, but they don't really unlock anything other than the nodes. But then you can unlock Hela. I think it's 7-6. So, and that's one of those important farms in the game. So it just be mindful of decent teams. But like I said, and the Guardians don't really help you unlock anything but their legendary Star Order, which is a super nice thing. And I'm going to tell you before, I talked about this before, I would be going very, very hard for Nick Fury if his team unlocked him. I don't know why they won't switch this requirement. It is so asinine to have to work on Kree minions to unlock Nick Fury, and then have to work on another team to use with Nick Fury. You got to do double the work, so it just isn't worth it. Because I say in the early to mid game, the Shield team with Nick Fury is probably the best as far as clearing content. It's good at everything. It's pretty good at early arena. It's pretty good. Everything's good at Blitz. It's good at Blitz. It's good at early war. It's really good at early raiding and mid game raiding. You can basically auto on them. But it's just not worth it, because you have to level up in a useless team, Kree minions, and you can't just go in there with like 5k, you know, individual power Kree minions. You'll get stomped, because that event is actually a little bit difficult. So you actually have to decently gear them. So all that gear you got to waste putting into Kree minions to unlock Nick Fury, and, you know, beat the campaign so you can unlock him. It's taken away from any like upgrades for other useful characters, because you're not going to use the Kree characters after that. So it's a shame that I can't work on Nick Fury and co, but, you know, it is what it is. So, like I said, I'm going hardcore for Sinister Six, and I'm going to keep working on Guardians, of course, but I kind of eased off just a little bit on that, more than I planned. But that's because I wasn't sure that Sinister Six was going to be, like, permanently node farmable, at least 3 of them, Shocker, Mysterio, and Green Goblin. So, there you go. So let's talk about, what was the other thing I was going to talk about today? I talked about trapped characters before, people you don't want to waste resources or time on. And I don't really have any of those unlocked, because I've tried not to. Look, I'm not even going to upgrade Wolverine, because there's no point. He doesn't do anything for you. So don't even waste the credits to rank him up. I can't see right now. It's probably 19, but it's just not worth the money right now. There's no reason to do it. Pick your characters you want and stick with them. Like I said, I got super lucky with Zemo and Hela, so I'm going to be working on those guys hard, maybe even harder than like Punisher, because they're just good everywhere, especially in their early game versus computer content. But focus your resources, because they're extremely limited, especially as a free-to-play player. So do your dailies, focus on a plan, which I did not do for like the first year in this game, and I'm still playing catch-up. Now, as a free-to-play character, you're never going to be on top of the meta. You're never going to be with the latest, greatest stuff. But you can get close-ish. Usually you're about a cycle behind the people who are paying. And I'm probably even further than that behind with my main account, which is, I think, around 4 million TCP now, something like that. Nothing great, but I do have some pretty strong characters. I got like 100 and some odd K, 7 red star Thanos, 90K, 6 red Maw, 100k Punisher, 100k Ghost Rider. A couple of characters like that are getting up there in levels, and Phoenix and all that. But if you don't focus early on a plan, you're not going to get anywhere in this game to unlocking the later content. The mistake I made was I leveled characters that I liked. Like, I spent a lot. Punisher's my favorite Marvel character. Like, I was actually a comic book fan. I'm like probably most of the makers of this game. But so I worked on him a lot because I liked him. And then I unlocked Ant-Man to Blitz stores because I thought his animations are cool, and it's like, he's kind of a cool character, right? And then in doing so, I was like, well, look at that. He has some synergy with Wasp. I'll go ahead and level her too. So I got her like gear tier 12, level 70 or 71, something like that, and put tons of stars into her. I have like 6 stars and golds into her, and I got 7 golds in Ant-Man, and they were just useless. I know they got a rework now, but they're just not good. Don't be like me if you're wanting to progress. But now if you're just wanting to get in there and screw around and level who you like, hey, good on you, man, because you'll have more fun probably that way. But I'm just saying, if you want to progress in this game at a decent clip, focus. Like I said, do everything you can every day. Do extra if you can. Know when to refresh things, and know what teams and characters to work on. Now, that's not to say you can't, work on your Punisher because you like him, because I intend to. He's a great damage dealer in this game. But, like, say you're a big fan of Deadpool, he's got an X-Force, but if you don't have X-Force unlocked, he's not going to do a whole lot for you. He's not that good in PvE content, and just not a real high value. He doesn't really unlock anything, other than, of course, Doc Ock later on. But once again, that's so far out the realm of possibility because you got to do X-23, and Negasonic and all that, and they're super late game farms. It's going to take forever to get to those things. And actually, X-23 is War Tour, but like Negasonic is a super late game farm, and Domino is a random pull farm. So yeah, just because you like Deadpool doesn't mean you should work on him for progression. Just because you're a big fan of Wolverine does not make him good in this game, because he's not. Trust me on this. Hulk is actually fairly decent, by the way. I was going to bring him up again. So I unlocked him as well. I think he's 180 shard unlock, and if you do your dailies every day and you start getting more and more achievements, you'll get him unlocked. Now, he used to be super bad, but he's been reworked, I think, twice now, a little bit. And so he's not awful as an early game tank. Just keep that in mind. He's more of a damage dealer than tank, but so he can be good in the right hands. So just wanted to let you know about that too. So for when you unlock him, if you're a big fan of Hulk, there are worse characters to work on, but I wouldn't dump too much into him unless he's got a full Avenger squad on tap. He's not all that hot, right? But I've basically, and remember, don't work on defenders. Like I said, unless you're a big fan of defenders, don't waste anything into them. The only ones worth anything outside of their team is the Punisher, and he's not even a defender, right? He's just always used on that team because his passive works very well with the defenders. It's actually one of the best passives in the game with that team, but the team is no good, so don't waste your time with them. They do have more sustain than the Sinister Six. I'll give them that. So they're better on like raids and things like that. But you can mix and match teams. You don't have to go in there with the straight Sinister Six, which I usually don't on raid nodes, depending on the difficulty. And that's pretty much it. So just wanted to kind of do an update on what's going on, and I'll probably start talking about the legendaries to go for early. I kind of mentioned it before, maybe go a little more in-depth in my next video, which I'll probably release right after this one, because who knows when I'll get back to it again if I can't get my OBS figured out. It might just have to be this format for a while, but whatever the case may be, that's what's going on with the account. Tune in for more information here in the near future. Until next time, this is Genome,